In this video, we're going to start with this coin, which honors the heroes of Desert Storm in 1991. This is a $5 coin from the Marshall Islands. Let me flip it over. While Marshall Islands does have a small number of circulating coins for the Marshall Islands, they are best known for their circulating commemorative coins, which are sold to the rest of the world, especially the United States, because they have a lot of coins which are of interest to America, such as this one from the storm the Desert Storm War from my childhood. So this is a $5 coin that celebrates the U.S. military. This one is from going to be a catalog number of KM40. In today's video, this is actually going to be part one of a video where we look at all of the coins that are, well, most of the coins that are in front of us right here. There's so much here that it's going to take two parts to get this. And in part two, we're going to have a lot of tokens on that are part of a same deal. Now, this is actually what my wife bought me for Christmas. It was a bulk lot of 4.5 pounds of coins, and everything that is on the green mat in front of us right here is something that is new to my collection. The particular seller here was listed on eBay as, how do you pronounce that, patroclus.net. And this was a good lot. It was a little bit more expensive. I think it was about $12 per pound or so. So I paid about $60 for a 4.5 pound lot. There were a lot of interesting tokens in it. There were a lot of clean coins in it. This particular seller deals with a lot of, usually sells a lot of tokens, and he has a lot of tumble cleaned coins, which I don't find particularly attractive, but I'm sure there are some people out here that like the shine that come with it. There are about 40 of this coin in there. One was new to my collection, but there were a lot of duplicates, and we're just going to go through it. And by the time it's all said and done, I think this was definitely a good deal, though. I was very happy with this purchase, and I'm thankful that I got it for Christmas. It took me 2 or 3 months to actually go through everything that was on here, but let's keep going. We have our first Queen Elizabeth coin of the video, and if you've never seen a 2-pound coin from Britain before, it's a little bit larger than the 1-pound coin. It is bimetallic. It does have this ring around the outside. Of course, this is the last portrait of the Queen, but this is the general circulating version of the 2-pound coin. This one is from the year 2000, and there is something etched in the lines there in the middle that is kind of hard to see unless you hold it at an angle. That's kind of a security way of cutting it. That the Canada Mint does that as well. Let's see, what do we have written around the edge here? Standing on the shoulders of giants. So there you go. That is a British 2-pound coin, catalog value KM994. It's worth over $2 in American money and just exchange value, but the catalog value on this one's going to be $3.50. And I am going to keep a running tally of all the coins and tokens that we see today, at least the coins, and give you a book value at the very end. I was wrong if I said that 2-pound coin was the last portrait, because this is the last portrait. This one is from 2015. This is the 10 pence coin from Britain. And this is from the series after about 2012 or so, where they put the entire shield of the United Kingdom on the back of their coins. I just didn't happen to have this one, even though it's probably pretty easy to find. KM 1335. Here is a 50 euro cent from Spain, where a lot of their coins up to 50 feature Miguel Cervantes, the famous author. This one is from 2001. And when I first saw the little line right here, I thought that was a scratch, but all of them do feature that scratch on it. I believe there are a couple of different versions of these. Some where there is a ring right here. I have to go back and check. There are 2 different versions of these Spain coins with the stars and the partial ring here at the top. Here's our next euro. This is a €1 coin. This one's going to be from the Netherlands. And so this continues a design that on the euros that we saw with their last circulating coins before the euros. This one features Queen Beatrix from the year 2000. I'm amazed anytime I get a silver coin in a mystery lot like this where you're paying by the pound. About anything less than $15 a pound of coins, I'm surprised to find a silver coin. This one is from Sweden. It is only 40%. And even though this coin is about the size of a United States quarter, it has 0.09 ounces of silver in it, which translates to about $2. This coin also has some weird toning to it, so this is purely going to be the silver value on it. But I'm glad to pick up silver in a lot like this. But while we're looking at Sweden, here is a modern 5 kroner coin. This one's going to have some foreign exchange value to it that I think makes it worth just at least a US $1 in just foreign exchange value. But we're going to have Carl the 16th, 2016, and the monogram there underneath the crown. Let me flip it back over again. For the Sweden coins are the ones that feature 3 crowns on them. So a 5 kroner does have a book value of $1.25, and it's going to be KM 930. While we're in Scandinavia, this coin is in bad shape, but I didn't have it. This dates back to World War II. This one is Norway or Norway. We've got the, it's hard to see, but there's a lion holding a sword in the middle of a shield on this side. This is made of iron, and of course that's going to rust a whole lot, but this is going to be 5 ore. And these are hard to find. It's only worth 10 cents in this condition, but KM 388. Here's a commemorative circulating coin from Greece. Of course, you see the Greek alphabet on here, so I'm not really able to read the what is written on this side. I believe it says the Hellenic democracy, which is what Greece calls themselves, but I'm not able to read the name of the individual on here. But when we flip it over, it is a 1-year coin. It celebrates in 1994 the 150th anniversary of the Parliament building, which was built in 1844, as it says at the top. This is a 50 drachmas coin, and it's KM 164 with a book value of $2.50. Our next euro coin, we've got another well-circulated 50 cents. This one has a more weird toning on it, but let me figure out which way is up based on the letters on here. Oh, here we go. So it says Portugal in 2 places on here. Between all the symbols, there's P and all the other letters that go around this side. But it also spells Portugal in the very middle of the shield. It almost looks like a 4-leaf clover in the middle with a couple letters of Portugal in each segment of that. This coin does have some weird toning to it that is not natural at all. I am thinking that that's the kind of toning that you get if you're going to try and make a coin look shiny by or try to fake toning on it with using a flame or a lighter of some kind, and it just hit the middle and kind of ran off to the side, and they realized it wasn't going to work, so they didn't try anymore. But that is the 50 euro cent from Portugal, KM 745. This euro is a little bit better. This one is the 20 euro cent, and the coin on this one is going to be, anytime you see the lion holding the sword in that design, this is not the same one of Norway that we saw earlier, but this time the sword is kind of reaching backwards, and it goes behind the crown that's on the lion's head. This is from Finland, and you can see the date of 2012. So this one is KM 127. All of the euro coins that we've looked at up to this point, I've just had a book value of pretty much just the foreign exchange value, but this one's going to be a rarer country, and so it has a little bit of a premium on it. We flip this one over, and this is the design of Malta. So it says Malta there on the kind of the top left. We've got kind of the shield of Malta on here with the date of 2008. And it doesn't have that much of a premium. It's worth 75 cents. And it's going to be KM 129. We have a second coin from the Marshall Islands, and there is some debate in the community on whether or not these should actually be called coins or not. They are obviously meant to be sold at a premium to collectors, and were never really meant to circulate. I mean, a lot of countries make coins as collectibles that are not meant to circulate. So there is some degree of debate on that. And Marshall Islands isn't the only country like that. You've got Liberia makes a lot of coins like that. Some of the British territories like Tristan Cunha, Niue, all do that. They say that if you were to take one of these in the Marshall Islands to a bank, you would get 5 Marshall Island dollars for it. But these were, I think they were originally sold for 10 US dollars. And so you'd be losing a lot of money if you bought one of them. But this one is from 1997, celebrating the 200th anniversary of the USS Constitution. So if you lived in the Marshall Islands, you probably wouldn't have any care about a boat from the United States Revolution, but if you're in the United States, this is who it's marketed to. This one is KM 398 and has a book value of $4. Canada has a lot of commemorative quarters, and we're going to see 5 of them in this video. The first one is right here from the year 2000. And in 2000, they made a different quarter every month, I believe. For the millennium, they did that in 99 and 2000. But this month, they featured community. So you see a kind of a shape of the whole globe, but it has the shape of Canada and all of its provinces filling up the whole globe. And then you've got different symbols that go all the way around the sphere here, showing different features. It looks like I see an apple, a butterfly, a high-rise, flowers, hot air balloon, a cross, I guess, a little house, a tree, more flowers, a Canadian flag, and a fish going around that one. So this coin from 2000 is KM 376. This coin came out in 2002. It celebrates the 50th year of the reign of Queen Elizabeth, and so we've got the date of 1952 and 2002 written on here. The letter P, I don't think that's a mint mark. I forget exactly why that is on here, but I believe these coins are all minted in Montreal and not, let's say, Philadelphia. But on the back of this coin, we have 5 figures holding up a maple leaf, and at the same time we've got several people, I guess, doing different activities around the maple leaf. So that's an interesting look to it. This one is KM 451. By the time we got to 2009, we have an updated portrait of Queen Elizabeth. This one is, they had a series over a few years celebrating Olympic heroes from the 2006 Olympics. And so this one celebrates speed skater, or ice skater at least, Cindy Clausen from, I guess that's the Canadian Olympics in 2006. And there are 2 versions of this coin. This one is not colorized, but in other versions, the maple leaf in the background is colored red. And the colorized one is rarer, but this one is KM 1065. This one also is an Olympic celebrating coin, but I think it's from a different series. We have the Olympic rings on the obverse of this one, also from 2009. We also have the stacked stone figurine of a man that I think is synonymous with the Nunavut territory in Canada. This one features a sport instead of a specific athlete, and so this one celebrates, well, he's wearing skis. I believe this is the long distance skiing sport, again in front of a maple leaf on here. Cross country skiing is the name of that sport. So this one is KM 840. Here is the final Canadian coin from this lot. This one is going to celebrate the centennial of Alberta as being part of Canada. So we've got, I guess that's an oil derrick on here. We've got a sun setting in the background. We've got 3 cows in the background, I guess, and some flowers in the foreground. This one is KM 530. Unfortunately, this coin is a little well worn, but it is new to my collection. If this looks similar, I believe Peru has had a similar design for 30 years. This one is 1992. I say similar design because there are subtle changes over the years. This one is KM 308.1. And so they make subtle changes to, I guess, the typeface of the letters on the side or the size of the numbers, things like that. They might add minor changes to the cornucopia design on here or just the overall look. But it is one thing that if you think you have some of these Peruvian coins, you want to just double check the years on it and take a look at the differences between each of the versions of this coin. So just like Peru, the Honduras coins, there are a lot of variances on these coins, but this is the one I pointed out at the beginning of the video where I had about 30 or 40 of this specific coin. It almost looks gold color, but of course it's nice and shiny brass. This one is from 2014 and is KM number 76.4. The variance in this one is it has a large date, but I believe there are also some variances based on the words in the oval in the middle. I think there's some where there are clouds carved into the coin behind the pyramid in the very middle. I believe there's some with larger and smaller letters where it says República de Honduras. We flip it over and we have 10 or 10 centavos de lempira. So yeah, this one is from 2014. I've got 3 more from Honduras. This one is about the size of a United States dime. It is 20 centavos de lempira from 1996. This one is KM 88A.2, and the catalog again notes this one is the first version of the coin that does not have clouds behind the triangle in the very middle of the back of this coin. This coin shows us that the design of the coin did not change a whole lot over the years, but it does have a different design on this side, especially around the whole shield. This one is, this 5 centavos is KM 72.2A, and one of the differences here is the metal that it's made out of versus some others of the series. This one is made out of brass. We flip it over, here we have the Cinco or 5 centavos de lempira. Likewise, we have one more, another one that has some weird, maybe burnt toning to it. Another Cinco 5 de lempira, where the, I guess you would call it the typeface on the coin is a lot different. Unfortunately, this one's all beaten up, but this one is from 1999, which gives it a KM number of 72.4. So the last one was 0.2A and this one's 0.24. Here is our next great commemorative coin. This one is from Panama. It's another 1 year only circulating commemorative coin. Panama coins are the same shape and size as United States coins. So this one from 2009 is going to be $0.50 and is worth an exchange value $0.50, as they are pegged to the United States economy. On this side, we have a large building with BNP written on it. So this is the National Bank of Panama, and it is the centennial. So at the bottom it has 1904 through 2004. Centenario and 50 centésimos de Balboa, so half a Balboa. This one is KM 139. Venezuelan coins haven't changed a whole lot in recent years. They feature Simón Bolívar as the liberator on here, but what I didn't have was the 100 Bolívares coin from 1998. This coin in size and shape reminds me of the 1 Bolívares coin from 20 to 30 years earlier. This one is a 1 year only coin. 78.1 is the KM number on this one. Here is a 25 colones coin from Costa Rica. This one is 2005 KM 229B, and it's got the B because it is brass and not reeded. So there's another version of the coin where it is reeded on the edge, but another coin where they use pretty much a similar design on all of their coins for decades. But there are subtle variances out there. Another one from the same set is Going to be the 100 colones. This coin is a lot larger, a little bit larger than the last one, from 2014. And this one is KM 240A. What makes it different than previous ones is this one, instead of being all brass, it is brass plated steel. And while that might cause it to look the same, that does make it a different coin. Here is a tiny low value coin that I have not seen before. And I told you earlier there were a lot of tokens in this particular set. I thought this one was a token at first because it just didn't really seem like a coin. It is tiny. It's smaller than a United States dime, but it's from, looks like that date is 2006 at the very bottom. And 20 pesos, a very simple design. KM 294. Here is a commemorative coin from Paraguay. This one has a value of 500 guaranis from 1997 and is KM 194. Again, this is one that has unusual toning to it that is not helpful. But on the back here, it's another coin where they honor the central bank of Paraguay. Recent circulating coins from Cuba are not that common, and this particular one is the 1 peso coin from Cuba. These days, it's a lot easier to find the tourism coins from Cuba. Usually, when we find the coins that are from that the citizens use, we usually find those from well before Castro, so 50s and earlier. But Patria o Muerte is a slogan that we see a lot on the Cuban coins and has a date of 1989. This one is KM 105, and certainly one you don't see very often. Here is a fairly recent coin from Bolivia. It is a 1 Boliviano from 2012. It says La Unión es la Fuerza. And so a lot of these more recent Bolivian coins has a new, I guess that's the official name of the country, Estado Plurinacional de Bolivia. So any coin that's more than a little bit older than this one's going to have a different name to it that doesn't have the Plurinacional written around it. So this one is KM 217. Here is a commemorative 2 rupees from India. Featuring, I guess that's going to be a bingle, but it is the Platinum Jubilee of the Reserve Bank of India. So celebrating 1935 to 2010. And this one is KM 386, books for $1. You don't see the Central African States coins all that often, but this is the first time I've seen the newer design that actually has the word Cemac written at the top. It is reminds you of the days that they were run by France. So this one is 25 francs. In 2006, we flip it over and it has 25 FCFA. And so again, it mentions the central bank going around the edge here of Central Africa. And for this newer currency, this one is KM20. This lot had so many nice coins, it was very difficult for me to pick a favorite. So I'm not going to say this one's my favorite, but this is one that would certainly qualify. As you can tell, this is a Chinese design, has the dragon on it, and is a throwback to things that you see on older Chinese coins. This one is actually going to be from Taiwan, but here's what I like about it even more with the dragon is they have a dragon that also has the year 2000 written on it. So the head of the dragon, or I guess you'd say the neck of the dragon, is the 2, and then the body of the dragon features 3 swirly zeros. This is a 10 yuan coin from Taiwan. And let's see, it doesn't actually, I think it would also say year 89 if you look at the symbols across the top, because usually Taiwanese coins don't actually have the calendar year on them, but instead have the year of, um, have a different year set that they go to. So this catalog number is Y560, and this coin actually has a book value of $3. That's the last one we're going to look at in this video, but we've seen a lot of nice things so far. And so if you add up the book value of just everything that we've seen today, it's going to be $37.85. And that's just the coins we've looked at. We're not even including the coins that there's a few coins left on the screen, and then we have some other tokens that are going to be in the next video. So keep on the lookout for that. It'll show up in a couple of days. Thanks for watching. Bye.